Okay guys, in this video let's configure the IPsec side-to-side tunnel. So this is the network diagram. You can see, so we have two sides, head office and the branch office. So both have checkpoint SMB firewall running on. So you can see the public IP addresses of these sites. So in here, so we have 123, 231, 44 and 91. That is the head office checkpoint firewall side. That means site A. So that's the public IP address. On the other side, branch office, we have 112, 134, 170 and 32. So both these are two different ISPs and two different public IPs, you can see. And then so we have this for the head office sites we have the private IP range 192.168.2 series. That is the internal IP ranges of this site A. Okay, and the other side branch office have 192.168.50 series IP ranges. So you can see the gateway, you can see the 50.254, that is the branch office, the gateway for these PCs. And you can see the 2.254, that is the head office gateway for so these machines. So in my lab setup, so I have this one VMware workstation running on my host machine. So I have this lab site A HO head office. So this is the checkpoint firewall, the VM. And then we have that 192.168.2.50, that is my IT PC. So you can see the public IP. This is for the head office 123.231.44.91. So and so we can access the checkpoint head office firewall, HTTPS 192.168.2.254 and 4434. So and through my AnyDesk connections, so I have another PC. So also their VMware workstation is running on. So in there, so I have configured this checkpoint branch office security appliance SMB5 plans. And then I have this 192.168.50, so 50 series IP 50.50. So that is one endpoint, that means Windows 10 endpoint sit behind this checkpoint gateway. Okay, so we can access to this checkpoint branch office firewall using 192.168.50.254. So you can go to the this CMD. You can see the IP config here. Okay, you can see 192.168.50.50 and 50.254 is the gateway IP address of this checkpoint. Okay, so this is actually the setup. Okay, the first we configure the site B branch, that means branch office checkpoint firewall IPsec configuration. Then after that we will configure the head office site IPsec configurations. Then we'll try and test the connectivity between these two networks private IP ranges. Okay, and so if I use this one 192.168.50 dot series, so currently, so we didn't configure any configurations. So if I try to ping 192.168 and 2.50, that is my ITPC of head office. So you can see it's not reachable. You can see the timeout. Okay, you can see the request timeout. So let's configure the branch office site IPsec tunnel. Okay, so let me go to this checkpoint firewall. So I'm trying to log in as an admin. Okay, and let's wait. So while it's log into this checkpoint firewall. Okay, so this is the actual checkpoint firewall. So so if I go to the device here, so you can see the internet connectivity. Okay, and so actually this I have configured as a net configuration on the checkpoint sites. If I go to the settings here, you can see the network adapters. So I have 3 network adapters. Net is configured for this WAN interface, and I have configured this custom VMnet 2 for the private IP range, that means representing this internal LAN network. And in the Windows 10 also I have configured this VMnet 2 here. Okay, and so if I go to this checkpoint firewall, so I have this local network like this. go to the local networks. You can see this is the 50.254. So first thing, actually you required to configure the IPsec tunnel. So you require to go to the device, and then so you need to go to the licensing. Okay, so let me go to the licensing details here. Let me go to the home and the license, and make sure you have the VPN license here, IPsec VPN license. So otherwise you can't configure this IPsec tunnel. So that's mean you require the subscriptions also to configure the IPsec tunnel. Keep it remember. Okay, then first thing, so let me go to this VPN. So then here, so we have the site to site. Okay, so first you want to go to the blade control here and make sure the blade control, that means site to site VPN, is turned on. Okay, and you can see the no VPN sites are defined here. So if I zoom it before, let me go to the original settings, you can see no VPN sites are defined here. Okay, so you can go to this VPN site like this. Okay, and this is the place we configure the VPN sites. Okay, so you can use the new button to create the VPN site. So let me go to the VPN new VPN site to configure, and you can give you can see the options we have: remote site configuration, encryption settings, advanced settings available. In the remote site, actually this is the place we configure the remote sites. That means for the branch office, the remote site will be the head office. Okay, so if I go to here, so I'm configuring this site here. So this one will be the remote site for this checkpoint firewall. Okay, and let me go to again here. So then I will configure as a site name as a CP and HO, head office. Okay, CPHO as my site name. Then the connection type will be the host name and IP address. So if I go down here, you can see there are few options available: high availability mode, load sharing, and only the remote site initiate the VPN. For example, so you can use so if it is the branch site is initiate the VPN, so you can use this only the remote site initiated VPN option. But right now I'm using this host name or IP address. So here, so actually I can place the IP address of the head office. Okay, so you can see the CPHO, the IP address for this remote site, that's mean this public IP address. So this is the actual remote office for this branch office. Okay, then I need to put this 123 231 44 and 91 here. Okay, so let me go to here 123 and 231, then again 44.91. that is the public IP address of checkpoint firewall head office. Okay, and then if you have NAT device behind, okay, behind your gateway, okay, then you can use this behind static net, but I'm not using that option here. Okay, so if you have that host name configure, you can use that host name also instead of IP address. Okay, and once you enter this public IP address of head office, then you can use the authentication mechanism here. Actually, the under the authentication, so we can use the pre-shared secret to trust this connection, that means IPsec connection. So you require to provide the same pre-shared key on the both head office and the branch office. Okay, and another options you can have that certificate also you can set here. So if you want, instead of pre-shared secret, you can use certificate file, but I'm using this pre-shared secret key here. Let me enter the password here for the connection. Okay, you can see the password strength is strong, so I need to confirm the same password here. Once you set that password, okay, then you need to define the remote site encryption domain. So this one will be the remote site network. Okay, you can use the new here, and you need to provide the network address of the private IP ranges sitting the head office. So in my case, 192.168.2.series. Okay, so I need to give that 255.255.255.0. So I need to go the object name here. So this one is HO network. Okay, so actually the head office network will be, you can see, 192.168.2 dot series. Okay, so and we can click apply here, and so we have set up this the encryption domain, that means the private IP range of the head office. Okay, then so you need to go to the other tab, encryption tab. So this is the place we configure the IPsec policy. So you can see the encryption settings. So so we have explained this IK pace 1 settings and the pace 2 settings in the last video. So actually so you can see the default one is selected, most the compatible one is selected here under the encryption settings. Okay, so if you want custom policies to configure, you can use this custom policies. You can change the whatever values here. So for example, if you want to change the encryption domain, so you can use only the AES256 if you want. Okay, to your for the your tunnel, then you can configure accordingly. So most probably, actually we are configuring custom policies. So if we have, you know, two different you know, hardware vendors, for example, if you want to configure the checkpoint and the Palo Alto, so we are using the custom policies because the most compatible one we required to customly created. Okay, keep it remember guys. So that thing in this case, so if you have multiple vendors, you require to configure these custom policies. Okay, in my case, so on the both side I have the checkpoint firewalls, so I'm using this default one. You can see the default most compatible ones in the IKE page. So on the encryptions will be used 3DES, AES128, AES256 will be used for the encryption, and the authentication, you can see the MD5 SHA1. These values you can't change actually, so if you select the default one. Okay, you can see the DF group also is group 2, and the group 14 is selected for the better security, and you can see the under the pace 2 the encryptions will be same as this the pace 1. Okay, and you can see the authentications and you know, other settings also you can see, and you can see the renegotiations every 144 1440 minutes, and on the phase 2 you can see the renegotiate every 360 3600 second. Okay, that's mean the 60 minutes. Okay, and so those are actually I will use as a default one. So so if I go to the advanced sections, you can see, so I have options to select the remote gateway is a checkpoint security gateway. Okay, so that's mean, you know, if you have the checkpoint security gates on the both side, you can tick this one. Okay, and then you can see the enable permanent VPN tunnel, so I will use that option also, and you can see the disable net for this site. Okay, that's mean network address translation won't be applied to this VPN sites. Okay, so in the encryption method, you can use the IKE version 1 or version 2. So recommended method version is IKE version 2. So because IKE versions 2 is more secure and more performance okay than the IKE version 1. Okay, so in the IKE version 1 actually it has more vulnerabilities. So in the IKE versions 2, so it has, you know, fixed. Okay, so but I'm using IKE version 1 here. Okay, and so let me click apply. You can see if I go down to the below, you can see the additional certifications you know, settings here. So any trusted certification authority is used for the certificate matching. Okay, so these are the things you need to consider. You can apply these settings once you configure it. Okay, and you can see the testing VPN site tunnel, but we didn't you know, configure the head office site tunnel still, so we can skip this setup, skip this step. Okay, so you can see the we have configured the VPN site here and the host name here. Okay, and if you go to the access policy here, you can make sure the automatic policy is there. Or you can see once you configure the sites, you can see the VPN site automatic generated rule will be created here. You can double click this one. So this is the default object will be created based on your IPsec VPN settings you configure under the VPN. Okay, and you can see the destination and the services accept here. Okay, and the source will be the VPN sites. That means the pre-configured the configured network objects will be listed under that policy. You can see the HO networks will be selected under that access policy. Okay, and so let me go to the VPN again, and here so we have the VPN tunnels. Okay, so you can see the initialization. Okay, so it's this site, this branch op is trying to initiate the connections, but we didn't configure the HO site still. Okay, that's why it's the status is initialization. So if I go to the advanced tab here, okay, there are settings also available under advanced settings. You can see the link selections there, right? So link selections means actually it's method to use to specify the which interface is used for the incoming and outgoing VPN traffic. Okay, so actually by default you can see it's according to the routing table. That's mean it's determine the best possible path for the traffic according to the routing table on the OS routing table. To find the interface with the lowest metric will be used in this scenario. Okay, so that means according to routing tables mean the OS routing table use, and the most that's mean the lowest metric value with value interface will be selected for the IPsec tunnel. Okay, so if you have that if you want, you can select the route based probing method also. That's mean all the routing possible will be examined, and then it will select the interface with the lowest metric. Okay, and then we have the source IP selections also. Source IP selections mean the configure the source IP used by the security gateway when initiate or response the VPN traffic. Okay, that's mean if it is the branch office, so that means branch office will be initiate the connection, right? So in that case it will select the source IP based on your configuration. Okay, and then we have tunnel health monitoring methods. I'm using this DPD, that means that peer detection method. So it's kind of a keep alive mechanism supported by the checkpoint to test the VPN tunnels are active or not. Okay, and you can see those settings, and let me go to this my host PC here. So if I go to here, okay, so let me go to 192.168.8.1. let me cancel this one. Let me go to this is my actual the head office. Okay, this is the router. Okay, so actually I require to forward the IPsec protocols toward my checkpoint head office firewall. So in that case, so if I go to the system settings, okay, so if I go to the firewall settings here, and the DMZ, I have forwarded all the connections to my 192.168.8.254 head office checkpoint gateway like this. Okay, you can see here actually the WAN interface is the 8.254. Okay, so if I go to my checkpoint head office configuration, so this is the head office machine. Okay, so let me log in this by entering the admin credentials. And let me maximize this one. So if I go to this device, okay, you can see 8.254, that's my WAN interface. So I have forwarded all the IPsec protocols traffic towards this dialog ISP connections that been configured on the WAN interface of checkpoint firewall. Okay, so let me go to the VPN here. So I'm configuring another sites. Okay, so you can see the make sure blade control is on. Okay, you can see the no VPN site configuring. So let me go to the VPN site here, and I will give the site names as CP branch. Okay, so head office site, you want to create the remote site. So I'm giving the site name as a CP branch. Then the IP address will be, in my case, okay, you can see the IP address 112.134.170.32. Okay, 112, let me go to enter here, 112 and then 134 and dot 170.32. That is the public IP address of the branch office. Okay, and then the pre-shared key, the same pre-shared key that has configured on the branch office. Okay, so I have entered the pre-shared secret here. Then I need to create the encryption domain. Okay, so this is the private IP ranges of the branch office, 50.range and branch network. That is the my object I need to create under the encryption domain. So then I can go to the encryptions. You can see the encryption settings, the default one is selected. So this the encryption policy must be same on the both side. Okay, so that's mean so if the branch office has the default, you can't configure any custom here. Okay, that is the thing you require the same the encryption policies and the same the pre-shared secret required to configure here. Okay, so if I go to this advanced settings, you can see the remote gateway is checkpoint security gateway. So let me configure the enable permanent VPN tunnels, and I'm disabling the net for this site, and the IK version 1 is used. So let me click apply this one, so I can skip this one. Okay, and so if I go to the VPN tunnels here, you can see it's initiating. Okay, so I can wait once this connected here, so I can go to the actually the branch office here. Okay, so if I go to the VPN tunnels, so let me wait a few minutes. Okay, so after few minutes you can see on the under the you can come to the VPN tunnels here. Okay, on the remote side you can see the status is active. Okay, and the same way you can come to the head office site. Okay, you can go to this VPN tunnels here, and then you will able to see let me maximize this one. So if I go to this VPN tunnels, you can see the active. Okay, so and access policy also in the head office side. So if I go to the firewall access policy, you will see that the automatic rule is that has been created, VPN remote access here. Okay, so we can test on the branch office here, trying to ping in the head office internal IP. Let me try to ping right now. Okay, so we can so you can see we can try to that's mean 192.168.2.50 can be reachable right now. Okay, here, so you can see the traffic on the head office sites. You can come to the checkpoint firewall. Okay, and we can make sure the logs are according to that VPN traffic it's there. You can see under the VPN here you can see the decryption right now. Okay, so the 50.50 ICMP traffic. Okay, so I can double click this one. You can see the VPN peer gateway, and you can see the encryption scheme, the key messages. Okay, and this is the source 192.168.50.50, and the destination is 192.168.2.50. That's mean so we have successfully configured this IPsec tunnel. Okay, so we can try the other way also. We can close this one, and the same time so we can come to the head office, and we can try to ping that machines also. And here let me try to ping 50.50. okay, and actually so we require to turn off the Windows firewall first. Yeah, let me go to control panel. So we can go to the control panel and go to the Windows firewall. So the Windows firewall is on, so you can turn off the Windows firewall right now, and we can come to the head office, and here you can see the traffic is passing, that means 192.168.50.50. So we are getting replies from that machine. Okay, so if I go to this checkpoint firewall on the branch office, and if I go to the logs and monitoring here, and you will able to see the VPN blade here, and the source is 192.168.2.50. that's decrypted traffic action. You can see the decrypt action here, and you can see the key install. Okay, that's the key negotiations for this IPsec tunnel. Okay, you can see the public IP and the public IPs for these connections, you can see here. And that's how to configure the IPsec tunnel between two different sites. That means we have successfully demonstrated between these 192.168.2 192.168.50, the both ways, from head office to the branch office, branch office to the head office. So now we can able to communicate through this IPsec tunnel. Okay, and hope you guys clear about this video. Thank you very much.